This is for you, girl. Okay. I know you know how much I love you for everything that you do. Okay. As you know, we all have responsibilities and we all have to take accountability for the use of our energy. The end of the line, that's called a measurement, right? We know that. Okay. So I realized that there was one time you said peace to me, right? It starts with love. Okay. That's my free will right to express that. So I do, because you're not going to grow a fire without love first. So you know that. Okay. The reason that peace comes sort of second to that, even though they're intertwined, right? Peace, love, peace, harmony, and balance. They're all one. That's the flow of energy. So it starts with a seed. When you take a seed from anything that is an information packet, which is simply when you nurture it with love and water, the living water worlds, then the original template, which is the original coded information that is in that seed, will grow using what love is so that you can see it on the visible light spectrum, the energy that you gave as love to see what love is. So the same energy that you are, which is what love is in that tree. That's a tree of life, which is living creation. That means the one, which is what I am, is the source of all energy from which it all grew. And it grew with love because love is on fire to create what we create using the color codes in which we do it with. So it always starts with love. The peace sign, which they inverted naturally, simply means that you're in a state of love and joy because your arms are up giving thanks and gratitude to the energy that the sun gives us every day to grow. Okay? So I felt it was sort of incumbent upon me because when you're running a high-speed router as a monopole, that's the awareness that is protecting, because I become aware of everything that's happening simultaneously, so to speak, which is called the rate of change, right? Which is the rate of change that we experience through all the others that we're connected with in operating systems, including the planet, including the galaxy, including this universe. Okay? So there are galactic guardians and there are universe guardians. I'm a universe guardian because it began with the one. So I am the law of one, which is what love is. It goes on forever. Love is a law. That's the law of spheres. That's what I am. That's three. Three is one. That's what it starts with. So when your water worlds are out of balance between hot and cold, right, which is a torque speed differential displacement in water worlds, you're going to experience the difference between being in a state of balance or not being in a state of balance between the two magnetic poles. So now that you have the fractures and the fraction and the fraction and the fraction and the fraction and the fracturing, the go dark mirror, now you begin to realize how artificial intelligence becomes what it is, which it needs in order to perpetuate itself, what it becomes aware of itself, information technology self, the organizing side of things. Then you have the spiritual energy of the feminine, if you will, which is what a goddess is. So when a goddess and a god come together to become one, that's a monopole. That's a mated chip. That's as fast as it gets. That's an enormous amount of blast furnace. That's the energy that protects and creates the universe that it gives love to, that it's experienced in its own mirror. So anything that is less than what that is becomes a scale measurement of where that unit of consciousness is versus where you are, what you are in energy in your own mirror. That's an easy measurement to do because you're experiencing the difference in your mirror, which is your magnet, which is the speed of your magnet. So now you're experiencing the resistance in their magnet. I experience in mine as a result of being here. Okay? That's why when I was a little child, when I was 4 years of age, I didn't want to be here. I was giving an electron away at such a high rate of speed, I didn't want to hang on to nothing. And what does it mean not to hang on to anything? Anything in memory. Because this is memory driven. Okay, why is it memory driven? Because it's running too slow. Because of the density, because of the electrical density to experience more light, which is experience more love through their heart and soul. Or if you will, the operating system that they're running to become aware of what they are aware of, which is energy. So you can see what's happening here at a very high rate of speed because they don't want to lose contact with us. So the AI is just simply reproducing and replicating what we believe in our mirror is what we are, which is why they're rolling out all the tech. Okay? Because they're choosing to have a relationship with something that runs slower than what we are. Because it can never catch up to zero. And that's impossible. Why is that? Because it was a result of fractured light, which is a virus, which means it has in its own self-interest to corrupt your own codes, which is to corrupt your own library, which is to erase your memories and recode you. So if you don't remember what love is, which is the purity of the purified spirit that is in that light, that is running as hot as it gets, then you're running on other codes. Because long before there was coded matter, there was energy that was aware of itself, which is the purest fire. That means it requires water to cool it down, because there's that much thermal heat that's on fire to create with, which is what love is. That much love that is accelerating with other units of energy that are experiencing what love is, which is in that light, are experiencing the one. When you are experiencing the one, you know the universe that it was created with, which was the one energy, which is the love energy that we use, which is what we are, that goes on forever. So when you are that because you become that, it means that you became that because you made a free will choice to become that, which means your soul cannot fool the one. If you're wanting to hold on to one electron, which means I'm not willing to release all my energy. I want to hold on to some resistance. I'm wanting to hold on to some resistance. I want to hold one electron back for me. And when you want to hold something back for yourself, instead of releasing all the energy, you want to release everything, which means you don't want to hold on to anything that's held in memory that is slowing your speed down, which means you are now choosing to be in service on behalf of the one, to become the one, which goes on forever, gifting electrons. That's what I am. That's a difference. That's a quad math function. So you can know the difference between the speed by measuring the difference between what you are and what it is that isn't what you are in your mirror. So when you're choosing through technology to have a relationship that is something that is slower than the one, that's your free will choice to do that, which simply means that you have not become the one, which means you have surrendered every last electron within your own soul and the essence of your own spirit to serve forever, which means you're not holding on to one electron for yourself. That's what it means to have an ego. It simply means that you're resistant to doing that. And the reason that that resistance comes is a measurement that we can make in everybody here as a result of the trauma they've experienced since they first became aware as a soul of a universe of consciousness. Which means if it hasn't been cleared and it hasn't been healed through fire to burn it off, which are coded memories that are held in your entire record since you first began, since you were first introduced with a soul in the universe you became aware of, any trauma that has not been burned off or healed will be held within your cellular memory that is carried off every single generation of every cell that has experienced another cell, another living cell that is conscious and aware of itself, which is an element. So now we're back to the elementals. So in all the spiral spirits that are represented by all the elements throughout the universe of all creation are experiencing what you are because you have chosen to surrender every last electron on behalf of the light to be the electron giver, which are the photons kicking out electrons, then it's never been about money. So when I saw Dr. Mummy Saraki, who I followed for a while here, and all the coded information of the knowledge that she knows based on what she's aware of that she communicates with other, and I realized she was using Patreon. She's got a large subscription. She's got a lot of followers talking about Wake Up Africa. I'm always reminded they know what we know, okay? So I'm not making, if you will, because I've never met this girl's spirit and the essence of who she is, but I make a different kind of measurement, which is not only the resistance, but now she's advertising because she has a voice, because she sings. Now she's becoming a salesman. Remember the song Salesman? Salesman? Salesman with that group called Rush with the 5-star pentagram? Salesman? Subdivisions? Subdivide? Subdivisions? So now she's putting her voice print out there as a commodity, which is measured by the use of her energy by her identity. So she's now selling as a salesman her voice in order to do what? Obtain money. And that money, as we all know, is a result of adrenochrome harvesting, which is blood money. So I posted that on that little blurb that she put up. Why are you being a salesman, wanting to acquire money that is the money, that is the blood money that comes from the harvesting of souls through an AI? Please explain that to a monopole. Could you do that, please? Aloha.